Welcome back, guys. This is another episode of the Cancel Controversy. Today, we're going to do a little lighter topic. We all suggested that we talk about the NBA, just because of what we kind of just dug into the first episode, and we also fixed the audio issue that we had. So today I have DMW, aka Dylan, and Enrique, aka Young Phyno, back here. So some of us are a little bit more experts in the NBA. So just keep that in mind. So
None of us are experts, but
I think me and DMW have a fairly good knowledge of the NBA.
yeah.
you guys are more addicted to it. You guys
Yeah.
watch it more religiously.
Yeah. All right, let's have some fun with this one.
All right. You want to dig deep right in?
Yeah. Jordan or James? Right off the jump.
Jordan.
My thing is with like the GOAT debate. I have like
I didn't even say GOAT debate yet.
Oh, who would you rather have?
Yeah. Who's the better player?
Jordan.
Better player, LeBron.
Bron. Why you say Jordan?
I say Jordan's the best NBA player of all time, but in terms of including everything. So
what makes Jordan the best basketball player of all time?
well, LeBron's the best basketball player, but in terms of like accomplishments and a playing ability and just overall his aura and impact on the game, I'd give it to Jordan. But like single-handedly, just pure basketball playing ability is LeBron.
See, this one's gonna be fun because we're gonna disagree.
I agree with that.
I disagree. What accomplishments does Jordan have over?
Because if you go overseas,
so let's talk
like,
rings.
Oh, if you're playing basketball, who's the first person that you really think of, like that somebody that's not in the U.S. Jordan, Kobe,
LeBron.
There are a fair few Europeans who would say LeBron.
Okay. So what accomplishments does Jordan have that separates him from the rest? Not even just LeBron, just the rest.
Three-peated in the finals.
Well, he has 2 3-peats in the NBA.
But has he won 11 rings in 13 years?
No, but you also do have to consider that when Bill Russell did that, there was only 13 teams in the NBA.
Yeah. Oh, so then why can't we compare with LeBron? Like every time you talk to especially the old Jordan heads, the old heads, like the 40-year-olds now, they're all like, oh, well, Jordan's era was this and that, and then the next thing they say is, oh, you can't compare eras.
Yeah.
Why not? It's still a professional basketball league.
Yeah, I don't see that argument in terms of you can't compare eras because you kind of can.
You kind of have to because they change.
Yeah, but my thing is I don't like to look at like the really old eras like the Bill Russell era because there weren't that many teams in the NBA, so it wasn't that hard to win a chip.
But think there wasn't even a 3-point line for a long time.
That's why, in my opinion, I do have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar higher than most people on the top 10 list, just because Kareem scored that many points without a 3-pointer in his game.
So who's number 1?
In my overall GOAT, I have probably Jordan. And then 2, I'd have LeBron.
Oh.
And then I would say probably 3 is Kareem.
I got Brown 1.
You guys must just absolutely
I
brainwashed. Where's Kobe at?
No, Kobe's 5th for me.
See, I don't know if I'd say he's top 5.
Really?
I think he's
all time get me canceled.
Really?
I don't think he's top 5.
Yeah. I think the reason why
in the wake of his death, people looked at his
looked at
accomplishments better, and that's no disrespect. And still a Hall of Fame, first ballot, easy Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah,
but
100%.
he's not as clutch as people remember.
Yeah. Not to mention, I would argue
so who
that
would you guys put ahead of him?
He's not even the best player of all time in his position.
well, yeah, Jordan's definitely better.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So then, how can Kobe be the GOAT if Jordan is better than Kobe?
At his own position.
Yeah, that's why I have Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, and then I think.
Man, I really should have jotted out a top 5.
Yeah, me too.
But
I think 4.
I don't think. I think with time
If you
to
guys
think
are-
about it,
are more
Kobe's not a
knowledgeable
top
about it, you guys
5.
should know.
I'd say 4.
You called us the experts.
Yeah.
Well, you guys play 2K all the time. You guys watch NBA films and every time you guys eat
Films.
every
We
time
watch
we watch
NBA
films.
documentaries.
Yeah, every time you guys eat, you guys are
Yeah.
watching like highlights and shit. So
Oh, I've been on that NFL wave recently. I wish we were sponsored by Prize Picks so I could do the whole bullshit. Yeah, our sponsor. Yeah, whatever. But
once we get famous, we'll be sponsored.
But so we don't spend too much time on it. Jordan's not better than LeBron in my opinion.
I'd say overall basketball ability, LeBron's definitely better. But I'd say overall as if you look at it as a
I would say
NBA
Jordan has more accomplishments than LeBron. Yeah.
That's why
I don't think that makes him the GOAT player.
My thing is with like the I think one point that I've really disliked. I mean, that from like the LeBron fans, like the super fans that are like, oh, you can't look at or clown LeBron's like for early years in LA when he wasn't even making the playoffs, because then you also have to look at like Jordan's like last year with like the Wizards.
Oh yeah, no, I'll take both of those into consideration.
But my thing is though is LeBron was still, I would argue, not at his peak, but in his peak era when he joined LA.
He's never had a down season.
He's never had a down season.
Seasons are like 25 points a game.
When Jordan was on the Wizards, he was already on the down.
Whoa.
LeBron has never had has never had a down season.
He's always averaged at least like 22 a game.
Yeah. And if that's
So what about that first season that he joined LA?
He averaged like 23 a game.
If that's a down season, that's the greatest down season of all time.
He has a team, they didn't succeed, but as an individual player, LeBron had a great season.
All right, but then let me bark at you guys for this. So why does LeBron have to reconstruct the fucking team to get to the finals?
Because that's where it comes into, we have to compare eras again, because there's a super team everywhere.
No, because
the only threat Jordan ever had was
I find
Detroit.
It kind of stupid. If LeBron can do it, why can't other people do it? And not be considered like.
Well, that's why
Durant did it.
Yeah, Durant definitely. Well, I mean, Durant didn't construct one. He joined.
Put himself. Yeah, he put himself there.
But my thing is,
he's kind of constructing the Suns though too. He was in control of their coaching decision, and them getting Bradley Beal. Booker didn't have that power. That didn't happen before Durant got there.
That's because I do think, in my opinion, Booker's insanely overrated. Like I would rather have Damian Lillard on my team than Devin Booker.
I would say, win now, I'd rather have Lillard. But if I'm building a franchise, I'd rather have Booker because he's younger.
Well, yeah, he's younger, so that makes more sense.
But okay, if it's like a win now year, I would take Lillard over Booker.
But no, what was I gonna say?
Booker's very unpolished on defense.
What was he saying? Oh, like the whole super team thing. My thing is because like I'm like a Warriors fan. I look at it. I applaud what the Warriors did with their quote unquote super team, because they didn't have to go out and sign the best players in the world. They drafted Clay. They drafted Steph. I think they drafted Draymond.
They drafted Draymond in the second round.
So like, they did a very good job at building their team up from the bottom.
They were ass the year they picked Curry. Awful.
But they weren't like Miami and went out and signed LeBron, got D Wade, got Bosh and everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Just to lose to Dirk.
Yeah, Dirk the GOAT.
I don't know. I think the games I think there's more competition in the NBA now.
Nowadays it's really hard to. There's not one team that
no one saw Denver winning this year. I didn't even see Miami in it. Like the finals, playoffs.
The Sacramento Kings blew me away last season, bro.
Yeah.
Damn near knocked out the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, that was nuts. After like the longest drought at the time, like 16 years I think, without a playoff appearance.
And they almost made it out the first round, but obviously the Warriors are a little too.
Yeah, but to take that team to 7 games is a good sign for what could come this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, but all right, we'll move on to the next topic. Does someone else wanna?
Was the bubble a fluke?
I wouldn't say it's a fluke. I just don't think it should be. I don't want to say removed from history, but
like the asterisk.
I don't think it should be taken as seriously as other seasons.
Why?
Because it was the COVID year, and the whole. I think the whole bubble situation affected way too many players mentally to the point where they couldn't perform at their peak levels.
Some of them weren't even playing.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I feel like it was.
You can speak very differently about Jamal Murray getting his dick sucked and balling out with the Nuggets. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
I'm saying you saw a lot of random appearances on T.J. Warren.
Yeah, T.J. Warren dropped like 36 like consistently. Like he was dropping 36 every game for like a week.
He looked better than Jordan and Bron in that little stretch.
But then the next season he couldn't do anything to save his life. That's why I think the bubble was so like, it was such like a, how you say it, like an oddity where just any just some random player could have a crazy game just because the top players were off their game.
I don't know if I'd put an asterisk next to it, because at the end of the day,
Because I hope you guys.
it's a business.
I hope you guys know.
Like, they had to go out and play.
LeBron
regardless.
won that year.
Yeah,
LeBron won
that's
that year,
it's a very forgettable finals. That was his
100%.
fourth ring, right?
I believe so.
Because he's like 4-7 in the finals or something like that.
Because I think he has one with the Cavs and two with the Heat, and then one with LA.
Yeah, I guess when you say it like that, that is a very forgettable NBA final.
Yeah. Well, not to. I think it was a mixture of. It was hard to watch for a lot of NBA fans.
Yeah, that one I'm kind of in the middle in.
I do think in recent memory, it's one of them. It's probably the most forgettable finals.
Oh,
in
it's probably one of the most forgettable seasons.
But that's why, because the whole.
Because as
COVID
far
thing
as the Western Conference that year, I'm about to make a bold statement. I don't think there was much competition. Because in the Eastern Conference, you had the Celtics start to heat up. You saw the Heat come out of nowhere.
The Heat destroyed the Bucks that year.
Yeah, Tyler Herro just.
Yeah.
I think that was.
No, that was when Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson first started blowing up, quote unquote.
But unfortunately, what was it that year when they made it to the finals?
And lost to the Lakers.
And Dragic got injured, and
I think he got injured game 7 of the season, or the game before that, or either the first game. I'm pretty sure Bam was.
Yeah,
injured.
I think that's one I got to do more research on to really find out. I would say at the moment I don't think it deserves an asterisk.
I wouldn't say it deserves an asterisk, but I would say it shouldn't be taken into as seriously as like other seasons.
Yeah, that I can agree on, because like you guys have been saying, it's tough to get into. It's very forgettable, and you did see some random people go off, which, I don't know. I think a lot of people were comparing like not obviously the points and all that, but
because
just like
there was
the
no
random
travel at all. There was no travel.
There was no home team advantage because there was no home team. Everyone played in the same arena.
There was no crowd.
There was no seeing your family because.
Not until the last week of the bubble, where they allowed you like 2 family members.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous.
And not to mention that like because they were on such like a strict diet and shit because of the bubble and stuff, and like they like forced the players to eat certain foods. So like some players could be thrown off their routine, and that could mess with their game. And
it's like, thanks, Rudy Gobert, fucking sitting around touching the mic, making a joke out of it. It's funny because I obviously as a Jazz fan,
I'm
like,
people talk about that though.
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh, that's gonna be. Oh, I don't know why they're making this news, and then next week the fucking season shut down. Yeah. I'm like, oh, well, maybe that's why.
Within like the next 3 days, the NBA just shut down.
Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe that's why it was such a big deal.
Coincidentally, I think I have a fun, quote unquote, fun memory of that day. I think
I was at Planet Fitness when they shut the season.
I think that the last game before they shut it down was, I believe, the Hawks were playing somebody, and like the last shot of the game, Vince Carter made like one of the last shots he's ever taken in the NBA.
Wow.
I think he took a 3-pointer and switched it.
Is Vince Carter overrated?
All time or as a player?
What was the difference? What do you mean?
So like, would you like? Is your question, is he overrated in terms of like, should he be in like the top 75 or something like that, or is he just overrated in general?
Is he overrated in general? Is he an overrated player?
I would say so. I think people only remember him from his dunks.
What I always heard is he was up until his last couple of years, which happy he changed his kind of reputation around. But I heard he was a bad teammate.
Mm-hmm.
And like he didn't want to take on that like mentor role, and he's like 36, 37 years old. You have to at that point. I don't know if I'd call him overrated though. I do think he was overhyped. I don't know about directly overrated because he put up some crazy seasons statistically.
But then overhyping someone could lead you to then label them as overrated.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is I'm trying to.
Because in my opinion,
tread lightly here and
in my
say
opinion,
which,
so far, I mean, there's really no argument against it that Zion is incredibly overrated. Because he hasn't really had a solid season where he's proved the haters wrong.
I agree.
It's when he's on the court, he's great. The issue is he's not on the court.
Yeah.
Whether it's issues with his weight, with his personal life. Oh, don't even get me started on that girl.
All his stuff going on.
Or just injuries. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to call him overrated, but for how high he was drafted, you have to right now. Or if not overrated, a bust.
Because there's no way the number 1 draft pick and probably the most hyped prospect coming out of college
since
Bron is just not playing NBA games.
Yeah.
And whether it be his own fault or not, it's wild.
Well, then you guys want to talk about that? Because I know that's a new rule this year that you
The load
resting
management
players.
rule, yeah. They can't rest like 2 stars at a time or
Yeah.
something. I that makes sense. I
'Cause-
don't want to sound like an old head again, but you're getting paid millions upon millions to go do something that we go do for fun.
Yeah. Not to. I mean, you saw the Mavericks try and throw last year where they benched Kyrie and Luka.
And Luka in
Yeah,
the same game.
and the thing is a fan could go to that game once in their lives, and that's like, oh, they can afford this because they saved up for years.
Yeah, and
like this
then-
is a lifetime experience. They
I
show.
think Kobe talked about it.
Yeah, they fucking show up and you see Maxi Kleba on the fucking court. Like, no offense to him, but you know, like your starting lineup shouldn't be
I want to
fucking
see
Seth
Luka,
Curry,
not-
Darian Finney-Smith.
Yeah,
like
not
it
somebody
just
from
shouldn't
the
be
G
some
League.
garbage. Yeah, and that's no disrespect to them. They're great role players, but you know, if Kyrie and Luka are on their team, you don't want to see Dorian Finney-Smith starting over Luka and you know, set and point.
Yeah, like for me, like it's like the thing like we've been saying, like if you want to go see, if you've been saving up for like the longest time to go finally go see a Bucks game for the first time, you don't want to show up and Giannis is out because he just doesn't want to play, and you can see
Yeah.
Bobby Portis starting.
You see the wrong Antetokounmpo brother.
It's an asses.
Like no one
That's
no one
tough.
showed up to watch the Nassus play.
Yeah.
Or like I think the most prominent example is Kawhi and Paul George on the
Yeah.
or on the Clippers. And it's crazy because when Paul George is hurt, his podcast is still running.
Yeah.
If you're gonna rest. You know, it's like I don't know. I feel like, and I do know what Kobe thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
I do. I saw it.
It was Vanessa that talked about it.
Yeah, and I agree with that. If you have something, obviously a serious injury is a serious injury. No one's saying play on a torn ACL. You can't. But like if you have a fucking elbow bruise, get your ass out there and play. I think they're worried about the stat pad. Oh, what if I go out there for this next stretch of 3-4 games? I average 14 points, and then I don't average 25 a game anymore.
And then I think one of the things that was talked about a lot, I think it was last year when the Nuggets won, right before the playoffs when the play-ins actually started, were that a strategy to rest the good players for the playoffs.
And see, that's cool, but that's why you have to build your team around depth.
Yeah.
You can't just have 5 good starters and a shit bench. It doesn't work.
Because then that's how you have how do I say it?
Because you see,
Then that's
like-
how you bust your season because
Like-
your star player gets injured in the middle of the playoffs and you're fucked.
yeah, and it's like
That's what the Lakers did really well this
I
season.
get that, but then you know one thing I would say to that, then lower your ticket prices. Don't sell bogus tickets for $92 if Curry's not playing because you want to save him to almost lose to the Kings. I'm not saying that they did that. That's my example. And like, there's times where you're gonna see bench guys in with the starters, you know, because they do different rotations. Like a bench guy could excel more with like a pass first point guard.
And not to mention some reserve players could end up actually having good form and actually warrants a start.
Yeah, like
When Jordan Poole started going crazy in the playoffs.
yeah, or Cameron Thomas on the Nets.
Or like Austin Reeves in the playoffs last
Yeah.
year.
Cameron Jordan, oh my God. Like I said, too much NFL. Cameron Thomas needs to, if he was a halfway decent defender, he could be a starter on almost any team. I don't know if that's controversial I did that in the first episode too. I can't fucking speak. But,
So what, you want to start talking about overrated players?
well, let's talk about some underrated players.
Underrated players? Oh, in my opinion,
Let's have some fun with that.
he's my favorite player. I love this player to death, and I will constantly hype him up.
Are you going to call Clay underrated right now?
Clay Thompson is insanely underrated
Under?
because people look at him so different
Bro,
after
shut
he.
up.
I think people know who he is
Oh
now.
yeah.
Part of the splash,
But no,
Bros.
listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm
Okay,
saying.
let's
Listen to
hear
what
him
I'm saying.
out.
So especially after that torn ACL and the torn Achilles tendon, people kind of just wrote him off as just his career is over. Dude had 2 career-ending injuries and still comes back and averages 18 a game. Not to mention he's still one of the best 3-point shooters in the league.
So who calls him underrated?
I
Who calls him overrated?
would say a lot of people who don't. Oh, I guess people who obviously don't watch like Warriors games and shit. But I don't say necessarily people don't call him overrated. I think it's people that don't give him flowers and don't appreciate how good he actually is.
Okay.
Because you got to think about it. What was that? Scoring 37 points in a single quarter?
Yeah.
Dude, there's some superstars like that struggle to score 37 in a game. He scored 37 in a quarter. And not to mention, he didn't even play the full quarter.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
No, yeah, I've never looked at him as underrated, so I was surprised. I mean, I know who your favorite player is, so as soon as you gave the load up, I was like, there's no way he's about to say Klay
I'm not
Thompson's
saying necessarily that
underrated.
he's like that people call him overrated. I'm just saying that people don't give him the love he deserves.
I thought we were gonna find some hidden gems. This guy names a 4-time champion.
But no, people will look at Klay and be like, oh, well, he got carried by Curry, he got carried by KD. Well, to an extent, yes, but then there were times where he carried them.
Do you think Paolo Banchero is overrated?
Yes, 100%.
What?
I haven't seen anything special from him so far.
What? 20 points a game wasn't special?
I mean, I don't see them in the playoffs.
Oh, I think. Look at the team he has around him.
I mean, if he was that good, he would have carried them. I mean, didn't LeBron carry the Cavs to the playoffs at least a few times when he was still like in his younger years?
He did. But not year one.
Yeah, not year one, but in the few.
Y'all want to get controversial? LiAngelo Ball's underrated.
LiAngelo Ball?
Yes, sir.
Well, why isn't he in the NBA?
You think he's underrated?
Because of his daddy.
No,
I think it's because his poor choices.
I think it's
and
because of
diet.
his lifestyle for sure. Because he is still a pretty big dude for.
He's got the build. He looks intimidating.
Yeah. He looks like if Zion was a shooting guard.
Hold on. Poor choices. Are you talking about the China incident?
Not just.
Not just
but
that,
yeah.
but
Include it, yeah.
Yeah, that is one of the poor choices.
But then on top of it, I don't think he has the same. It's sad for Lonzo because I think of the three, Lonzo actually has the hardest work ethic.
Lonzo definitely. Has
But
the
I
hardest
think
work
I think
ethic,
LaMelo's
100%.
the most talented.
LaMelo's definitely the most talented.
Yeah, and I think, but I think Lonzo is one of the best passers in the league.
Oh yeah, Lonzo.
when he's
Lonzo's
healthy.
Lonzo at healthy is probably one of the best passers the NBA's ever seen.
Yeah, minus I've seen
Like-
some dumbass passes too.
Oh, yeah.
If he perfects it though, like almost like kind of like a prime Westbrook in passing. You get those really good passes, and then you just get some stupid turnovers. But that's someone I really want to see play again.
I believe it's pronounced Westbrook.
Yeah. He did an interview where he was saying he didn't like that.
Yeah. I mean, what player have you ever seen be like, I don't like this nickname because it's rude?
Yeah. Well,
What kind of
yeah.
mentality is that, to be honest?
Yeah, no, I get it. You gotta go out. I just think it's crazy how many of his own fans turned on him.
Yeah.
That's the nuts part.
Because obviously he's gonna have haters, but
You
the
gotta
fact
stick
that,
through the good, bad, and the ugly.
yeah. Like, I mean, like people call me a bandwagon Warriors fan, but when they went through the mud without Clay and were in those seasons where they barely struggled to even succeed at all,
My God.
those 2 seasons when Wiseman was first in the league and Poole was starting to come up,
That's a bust who needs to turn it around in Detroit.
I had to
Wiseman.
struggle, bro.
Can you shut up about the Warriors? We're talking about the ball, bro.
No.
We got all over the place.
Dude, LeVar Ball is the reason why his boys don't succeed.
That's not true.
2 of his 3 boys did.
Yeah, that's not true. That is
But
completely ignorant.
but there was a story about how he's the reason Lonzo's
yeah.
knees fucked up.
That's
and it's
what
them
people
bogus shoes.
That's what people say, but I think the shoes had
The shoe
effect.
material looks horrible.
Yeah, the shoes definitely had an effect on his health, but I wouldn't say it's the direct reason for his knee problems. I mean, every player, especially that works as hard as Lonzo, will eventually develop some sort of issue.
Lonzo does look like so uncoordinated, but he makes it work.
Yeah, but no, I think that point that you said that the reason why, or LeVar is the reason why none of his boys can succeed or whatever is completely ignorant because Lonzo was drafted number 2 or number 3? Number 2, right?
I think 2 right after Fultz.
And then LaMelo was 3, but realistically should have been 1. But it's just the teams didn't need a guard.
Yeah.
So, what's your where's your point? Where's evidence that LeVar has ruined their careers?
He's made some poor media choices. I can say
100%.
that.
The poor media choices. I think taking his boys to play basketball in Lithuania was the stupidest shit I've ever fucking seen.
It did get LaMelo paid at, what, 16?
16, 17-ish.
It did get, but then he also eliminated college right there,
That's what
too.
I'm saying.
But then at the end of the day, he did get drafted at 3rd overall. Probably should have been 1st, but again, the teams didn't need a guard. But then you also got to consider...
Because of his last name.
That's not true. A 2-time All-Star, and he's, under 24?
He might be 24 at most.
Well, now, this is his 3rd, 4th season?
Yeah. 3rd, 4th? I think going into his 4th.
I believe he is a 2-time All-Star. Maybe 1. But it's still... I think Lonzo's never been an All-Star.
That's shitty.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, Lonzo's
Yet.
Lonzo's a generational passer.
Yeah.
Not yet.
If he comes back...
Lonzo out of UCLA was nuts.
Oh, Yeah.
That Lonzo was wild.
What was the school? It was like Chino Hills or something
Chino
they played
Hills.
at?
Yeah, you know Onyeka Okongwu played on that team?
Really?
He was on Chino Hills with Lonzo and LaMelo and them.
Oh my gosh.
He's not underrated, but he's like he people need to keep an eye on him. He's definitely a good player.
Yeah.
Where does he play right now?
On the Hawks.
It's just Capella being over him in the meantime.
Who was it? John Collins as well.
Yeah. Collins is with Utah now, and I think Clint Capella should be traded to Dallas. If Dallas can make that work out, that's what they're missing.
Big body in the paint.
Yeah, like who I hate shitting on these guys, but like Kleba, Powell, and didn't they just get Rashawn Holmes?
So what you think? What's his name? The owner of the Dallas Mavericks. What's his name?
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban. You think Mark Cuban can get Luka his ring, or you think Leonard's gonna get his ring first?
Who?
Leonard.
Lillard.
Oh, Lillard.
He said
Damian
Leonard.
Lillard.
He said Leonard. I was like, what?
I think if Lillard gets his trade to Miami, he gets the ring. 100%.
That's bold, but very possible.
Well, I mean, before Luka would get a ring for sure. Because if Lillard gets the trade to Miami, he wins the ring within the next 2 or 3 seasons. Doncic still has.
Lukic.
He needs like another 2 or 3 seasons of good help from the board and stuff like that.
What do you guys think of Jaylen Brown's contract?
Insanely undeserved.
Say that again.
Jaylen Brown,
Incredibly undeserved. He's the highest paid player in the NBA.
$306 million.
But you know why that is, though.
He ain't even the best
You know why
player
that is?
on
On
his
the Celtics.
team.
You know why that is,
That's
though.
wild.
You know why that is, though. So he won't go.
I don't give a damn.
So he won't go.
He's overrated as shit.
I would trade him before I'd give him that,
Oh,
and that's no disrespect to him, but that's
No, it's disrespect towards Jason Tatum.
Devin Booker
that's
better
that's
than
the
Jaylen
way
Brown, for sure.
Tatum should look at it. If they don't win together, Tatum should be gone.
You hear that though?
What?
Devin Booker over Jaylen Brown, 100%.
Devin Booker over Jaylen
Okay.
Brown?
All right.
Oh no.
Get him out of here.
No.
Get him out of here.
Disagree.
Get him out of here.
I don't.
Get him outta
I
here.
don't think Jaylen Brown. I don't think Jaylen Brown walks into a team as one of the best franchise players. Like if you threw Jaylen Brown on the Bulls, does he change the Bulls?
Yes.
And like, does he take them to like the finals?
Yes.
Not to the finals.
Well,
Not to the
and
finals.
like
But
at
to a
the
degree.
very at the very
what
least,
the Bulls have right now, yeah.
They're a playoff team if he's on there. Like a good playoff team.
a good playoff team. But does he take them to at least the conference finals?
Yes.
I could see maybe. I think it's a stretch, but I could see maybe conference finals. But
That's if they get
championship,
extremely lucky though.
and they'd have to draft better. They'd have.
'Cause you also have to consider-
But bringing in.
goofball
No, 'cause-
Devin Booker is, dude.
Where is this coming from?
Well, I mean,
Like
Devin
he
Booker.
plays like a chewed up piece of gum.
I personally, you can ask my brothers. I am the biggest hater of Devin Booker, especially the Suns. But
Doesn't sound like
I
it.
don't hate the
but
man. He just needs to
doesn't
play
sound like
defense.
it.
But Devin Booker took the Suns and to the finals that one year against Milwaukee. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's good
And
enough to
look
take
who
a team to the
stopped him.
finals.
Giannis and Chris Middleton.
Yeah,
Drew Holiday.
Drew
Or
Holiday.
no,
Brook
let me
Lopez.
reword
Bobby
myself.
Portis.
Bobby Portis.
Well, that was his.
I reported to go nuts.
That was his pop-up season
Yeah,
where
went
he started to go
nuts.
crazy.
Yeah, and quote unquote Devin Booker, star boy. No, dude.
Maybe no.
He's cheeks. And now he's recruiting Kevin Durant.
That's a huge W for the Suns.
Dude, all Devin Booker is good for is holding Chris Paul's cane.
Chris Paul's on the Warriors now.
Oh,
Can't talk about my point guard like that.
oh, is he a Hall of Famer?
Scraping the barrel. but
Chris
yeah.
Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scraping the barrel, but yes.
Yeah. More than Russell Westbrook.
Oh, I hate how rings are looked at.
No, I think Russell Westbrook is probably
Chris Paul is one of the best defending point guards.
Oh, you got also
One of the best passing point guards.
He's also, in my opinion, one of the best.
He's better than Isaiah Thomas Sr.
Yeah, dude, that dude's incredibly overrated. I don't know
Yeah.
how the fuck he's that high up on people's lists.
Not a defender whatsoever. So I think Chris Paul should be no debate.
Chris Paul's one of the
a Hall
most
of
creative
Famer.
point guards of all time.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't even think his handles are underrated.
His hops are underrated.
Yeah,
He could slam one down.
rarely, but yeah,
but like at what, like 6 foot, 6'1"?
yeah, something like
He's
that.
tiny.
Yeah,
Well, for the NBA standards, he's tiny. Shit. Yeah.
average male, he's taller than, but yeah, NBA way undersized.
Favorite undersized player? Muggsy Bogues.
Ooh, I was gonna say prime/peak Isaiah Thomas Jr.
I'd give personally. I think Nate Robinson was really fun to watch.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, he blocked Yao fucking Ming. I don't care. I think he fouled him, but they didn't call it. But I don't care. He still got up there.
He won a lot of jump balls too.
He won slam dunk contests like
over Dwight Howard.
Yeah, like
I have a
let's.
bold statement.
Whip
it out. He's gonna
See
say
what the Devin Booker hater has to say.
He's gonna say Draymond Green better than LeBron.
And you're gonna agree on some crazy shit.
Nah, I'm not that much of a Glazing Warriors fan.
Yeah, you are.
No, Draymond Green's fucking garbage right now.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
I agree. I wanted to see what you'd say.
What do you think? Draymond Green. Who would you rather have, Draymond Green or Dennis Rodman? Who's better?
Oh, Dennis Rodman.
You know what people really forget about is how good of a 3-point shooter Draymond Green was early on.
I think people forget how undersized
he's like
Rodman was.
They were both under 6'7", aren't they?
Rodman might have been 6'7" or 6'8".
I'm pretty sure when they remeasured all the players, didn't Draymond Green come out as like 6'5"?
I thought it was 6'6".
I got some heat right now.
Something like that. But he was still undersized for a power forward / center.
Yeah, when they play him at center, that's fucking stupid. Dude.
Rodman at center?
No, they played Draymond Green at center.
They played Rodman at center at times too. Yeah.
But not as much as Draymond gets played at center.
Oh my god, they just showed his Dallas stats. Look at this. 2.4 points,
but
14.2 rebounds, 1.2 assists, and shot under 40% from the field.
He was like that.
Y'all ready for this?
I want to see his height. 6'7".
Yeah, I mean he's taller than Draymond.
Yeah, let's hear this. I'm gonna double check Draymond's height while you talk.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Say it then, dumbass.
He's 6'6".
I don't believe this. But I've heard
6'6".
this. I've heard this many times.
Oh no.
Scottie Pippen carried Jordan.
Carried? No.
But I do believe people
benefited a lot. Yes.
Yeah. I do believe that people hate on Scottie Pippen for no reason, though.
Oh yeah, you look at their side by sides. There's things that Pippen did better than Jordan.
Yeah, because people will be like, oh, Pippen was just like on a free ride to 2 3-peats, and he wasn't really that good.
No, but I'll even say I don't want to say Bron. Everyone thinks I'm a Bron dick rider. I'm just trying to give him his flowers as you are, Clay. Bron's not even my favorite player. You know, I think he is.
I mean, for the longest time,
the most underhyped player probably ever as far as
overhated.
Nowadays.
He's overhated.
Yeah, not even.
You know why that is though? Because
people don't want to accept that
he gets into,
and people don't want to. But look at that dude built a school in Akron for like minorities to succeed who had no other choice but to pick guns and drugs. But all the people,
political.
Yeah, but everyone looks at he's doing all this. He's posting stupid ass videos at the gym with these songs, and then a lot of times you see like middle-aged racist men do it too. It's like, if you're like racist, what the fuck are you watching the NBA for? Yeah. Like, I'm not even trying to bring all that up into
personally,
it,
as like a soccer fan, I mean the soccer fans will understand. I think the LeBron James is the equivalent to Ronaldo, where he's just one of the greats, but people just hate on him for no reason.
Oh yeah, and you see that in you see that with Mahomes in NFL, but everyone blames his weird brother and his annoying fucking girlfriend.
Yeah, but Mahomes is out of this world talent.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be the greatest of all time if he plays like this for another, honestly, just a couple of years.
Personally, 2 more chips and he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Shut up. No.
2 more chips.
No.
Stat wise, I think he has a good chance of being the GOAT.
I've never seen Tom Brady do some diving throws like
2
that.
rings.
Dude, he already has.
He already has 2. There. He already has 2. So if he has 2 more, that's at least 4.
Like, you got to lick your fingers before you talk about Tom Brady.
We gotta get back on NBA and save this one for a whole nother thing.
No, the NFL.
Yeah, because we're almost out of time, boys. We're almost out of time.
Oh, we got to get a few more things in.
Crazy hot take right now. Who got something crazy?
Ooh. Looks like Hugo.
Yeah, I have a really crazy one.
Hugo's sparking these like slight arguments, and I love it.
Because once I say something, y'all piss me off.
Let's hear this.
There should be an age limit in the NBA.
Age limit?
Yes.
No. I just say
you could play. You could play.
Yeah, look at LeBron. Like
I think.
But what if you?
I think high schoolers should be able to draft.
You ruin a team.
You said what?
What if because of your oldness you ruin a team?
They cut you.
Yeah, they cut you. That's the
team.
And
if you have too big of a cap hit for them to cut you, then you're winning.
Yeah.
If the business side is going to be if you're not good, they can cut you, then the business side has to be if I'm overpaid and you can't cut me, I'm staying. You're going to pay me through my contract.
There isn't necessarily a rule, but
So
there's
you're looking at the
it.
loopholes too. Then
I look at the business side on both ends because you see, I'm going to use NFL again just because I don't know much of the NBA shows, but what's the one, Hard Knocks or whatever? You see them players get cut and it devastates them, but the business looks at it as just another guy who they just saved money on.
Mm-hmm.
So why should the players think any different when they're overpaid? Like Daniel Jones, the contract he just got for them to get blown out every fucking game they play, that man he goes home and swims in that money. That man can't even read a defense.
Yeah.
But NBA standards, Duncan Robinson, stupid overpaid for what, a series? For a series he played good in?
Yeah.
I think Fred VanVleet's overpaid.
Mm-hmm.
Hella overpaid. I think Kendrick Nunn should be on a team. Yeah, let's just spill out some crazy ones for a second. Like
some crazy, ridiculous take?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, you're coming in with the mild ones.
Yeah,
Oh,
like...
You want me to pull out the intense ones?
Pull out
Okay,
the Alaskan bull one of hot takes.
4-point line. What do you guys think?
100% should be added. 100%.
No.
I disagree. Like, I think no.
I think it should be added.
I think no just because... But at the same time, I guess I'm kind of going to contradict myself here if I say no, because I was going to say the game's elevating too much, but why hold the players back?
Because here's my thing.
But I think it's going to lead to so much sloppier, inefficient basketball.
Here's my thing. That could be a big
Yeah, because you got people hitting it from
and
that shit.
you got like 8 guys who are actually going to shoot it consistently.
Here's my thing, right?
And 8's pushing.
This is my argument for the 4-point line, and at least one part of the argument.
I think Buddy Hield and Curry will be the best 2 shooters in the league.
Trae Young as well, personally.
But if you actually look at the metric, he actually misses a lot of his
but
deep threes.
he misses a lot of his deep threes. But here's my point, right? Here's my point for the 4-point line. You have so many of these up and coming big men, or at least not maybe necessarily up and coming, but a lot of the big men are not transitioning to the 3-point line and are such good, efficient 3-point shooters, such as Joel Embiid. Kristaps Porzingis was pretty good for a while. Kevin Durant's a 7-footer that can hit threes.
Jokic can hit threes.
You got what's his nuts? What's his name?
AD can hit threes too.
AD can hit threes. Michael Porter Jr. is like 6'10".
Taco
he can
Fall.
hit threes.
Taco Fall couldn't,
No, you have so many of these big men that can hit threes and arguably just as good, if not better, than some of these smaller point guards. At what point do you really keep those point guards in your teams and or keep them around? Like the smaller ones, kind of like Chris Paul. If you have these big men who can shoot just as well, if not better, at 3-pointers and do everything else better as well, as for example, like rebounding and stuff.
So should we value centers more, or should we add a 4-point line?
That's why you should have the 4-point line, because then there's something that the big men can't do that these smaller guards can do.
Yeah. Okay. I don't hate that.
And not to mention, it also, people have that argument that like, oh, but they would just start chucking up 4-pointers.
I think it would make you not out of the game as fast.
Yeah. Because
then
because comebacks could be more dramatic and more possible.
Yeah.
But then look. Also,
I just think it's going to lead to really inefficient, sloppy shooting.
The people that say that they'll just like chuck up 4-pointers for the fuck of it, that could be a possibility. But when you look at back at the times when they added the 3-point line, they weren't really
people average 2 to 3 a night, and that's only the best in the league.
They didn't huck them. They were taking them, but they weren't hucking them.
People get better at it.
Larry Bird averaged like 2 or 3 attempts a game, and is still one of the best.
So in my opinion, the 4-point line, while yes, it could lead to some like just fuck it, might as well.
It's gonna just be another adjustment.
It could be it adds that high risk, high reward ass factor to the game, just the same way the 3-point line did way back in the day. So in my opinion, I think the 4-point line would be a good idea.
Shouldn't be more than 5 to 8 shot a game though.
Yeah, but that's
if Harden starts shooting 8 a game, cut him.
That's up to the players though. At that point.
All right, gentlemen. Unfortunately, this is the end of the podcast. No, we have to cut it off here. It was getting a little heated there. But
we got to get more prepared for a second episode.
Oh yeah, we got to come with statistics
so we can be a little bit more
just so
organized.
People can kind of get a little.
You're gonna get some
next episode.
Hate for that Devin Booker shit though. Both of you.
I don't care.
I promise.
Just wait until we talk about the NFL. That's next. I bet you.
Oh yeah.
That's next. Next. Look out for that one.
One sneak peek into that. Brady's the best QB of all time.
Shut up.
Is he?
Well, we're gonna stop talking.
If you want to hear that Packers bias, no. But
this has been one of the best episodes of the cancel controversy. So thank you guys again.
It's the second one.
This has been a good episode. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you guys.
Let's go kiss.